And, Coach, we are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They run with a rookie. This is Sony Michel. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. From the gun, it's Brees. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Under.
Now Brees, maybe a free play. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
We're good. 5-4, ready.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A very solid gain of 27. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. Second and goal from the 1. He's going to get it running right. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result? 6 points.
Touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go play action here on first down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, here's Breeze. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line.
There we go. Back. 120.
On 2nd down, Michelle takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
82. There we go. 120.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
We often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Completes this one to Meredith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, Kamara pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Raekwon McMillan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is Darren Sproles. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Throwing on first is Wentz. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give. This is Michel. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On the handoff, it's Michel. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Ready. We're waiting.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Breeze to throw on second down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze now on first down. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 54 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Watch 89. Watch 89.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Switch. Ready. We're waiting. Wide. Get 5-8. 5-8.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while, maybe with the Hutchinson Junior College, before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Ready. We're waiting. 0-2. Back by four. Coming after you. 21.
Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll run it with Kamara, and this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Lutz now to kick this one away. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They begin with Michel on the ground. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On the ground, this is Michel. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready, yellow lady.
They start the second half with Kamara. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Ready, yellow lady.
Again, it's Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Ready, yellow lady, yellow lady. Easy. 5-1.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready? You waiting? 5-8.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Ready?
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Kill. Ready? You waiting?
Now Kamara. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready? You waiting? Ready, my shot.
Throwing now is Breeze. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Ready?
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They run it again with Kamara. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready? You waiting?
Now Breeze. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Sammy!
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Ready. Yo, we're waiting.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Ready. We're waiting. 11. 58, boys. 58.
Breeze now. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Finding some room at midfield. Wide open receiver complete. And down right around the 37. A really good pickup of 28 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Wentz now on 1st down. Hurts over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
From the red zone now, Wentz. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. The Eagles led the NFL going 6 of 9 in the regular season on 2-point tries last year. Of course, they had another big one in the Super Bowl, and they're going for 2 here. To throw is Wentz.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Elliott now to kick this one away. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready. Waiting.
Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
95-56, 95-56. Ready. We're waiting. Ready for check.
Running with Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
On the ground, this is Kamara. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The Saints on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now a pitch out to Kamara. Oh, what a move. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 11 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready. We're waiting. Waiting for shot.
On the ground, Kamara. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Over. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Ready. We're waiting.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. 20! And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And that one results in 35 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Wentz. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. And he puts it through. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Saints, they pick up win number 7 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they will be at home next week to take on the